Academy of Art University's Urban Nights Update is next. Coming up, how you can save money traveling this holiday season.
And an inside look at the educational discrimination faced by Latino students, both in the Bay Area and in this country.
And it's good news for Dungeness crab lovers. A new update will make you very happy.
And what Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg are cooking up. All of that and more next on Urban Nights Update. Hello and welcome to the Academy of Arts Urban Nights Update. Thank you for joining us. With me is Daniel Bodesbaugh. I'm Michaela Sterner. Golden Gate Park is San Francisco's special jewel, comparable to New York's Central Park. Now measures are underway to make it even more safe. The city is installing 9 safety bumps and raised crosswalks on John F. Kennedy Drive. Vision Zero, which was endorsed in 2014 by the city of San Francisco, is a policy to eliminate traffic accidents by 2024. JFK Drive has one of the city's highest numbers of traffic injuries, according to the city's spokeswoman, Ellen Cannell. However, with the addition of the bumps, city officials believe that traffic will be slowed, preventing injuries and accidents. Another famous landmark in San Francisco is beginning to negatively affect the lives of people living there. Reporter Vanessa Arcelay explains.
Lombard Street, between High Street and Leavenworth Street, is known as a must-see place for tourists and others visiting the city, like Janine Sabo.
When you come to a city, you want to see what everybody's talking about, so of course we wanted to come and see it. It's ingenious the way that they use the landscape and the architecture to make a very steep hill work and makes San Francisco different from any other place.
The most gorgeous street in the world, as it's known, is filled with beautiful views, architecture, gardens, and tourists. Along with all that, there is also the residents who call Lombard Street home. While the tourists enjoy visiting, Kyle Oliveira had a different thoughts about being a resident.
I wouldn't want to live here because the traffic's so busy, you know, a lot of pollution with the cars going on. So, I mean, it seems to be very, regulated by the city. You know, you got the guys over here controlling traffic. People seem to be driving nicely, nothing dangerous. But I mean, it is what it is.
For tourists, it might seem like this area has many regulations and rules that are being enforced. But I spoke with Daniel Jacobs, a resident of the street, and he has some different thoughts.
I've had definitely tourists who are going down Lombard, especially the driving is, to me, worse. There's signs saying no vans, no kind of tourist buses, and they have these bigger vans now that easily hold 10 to 12 people going down, and then they'll stop halfway. Even when we have the SFMTA, basically the traffic officers, and we bring this to their attention, they're like, we don't issue that ticket, call the police.
The locals desperately want something to be done to help regulate and maintain their homes.
I've been advocating for tolls. You can turn this into something that you pay to go down. And the money could be used for good things, such as the maintenance, which people don't know, the neighbors actually pay for voluntarily. People think the city pays for these beautiful gardens, but they don't.
The residents of Lombard Street hope that by next year's busy season, serious changes will have been made. In San Francisco, I'm Vanessa Arcelay for Urban Nights Update.
The neighbors have a group that meets to discuss issues of the street, and this group is constantly lobbying for city officials to make changes to balance the needs of tourists and residents.
Crab season is officially here, everyone. The California Department of Fish and Wildlife announced that the commercial Dungeness crab season will be open right on time on November 15th. As of November 5th, the recreational crab season has been open. Due to the lingering amounts of domoic acid found in the samples taken off the northern coast, people are being advised to remove the viscera or internal organs from the crab before consuming them. All of the waters south of Point Reyes have been cleared of the domoic acid, so crabbers, have at it. And there are roughly $4.5 million worth of overdue books around the city, and San Francisco library officials are fed up. They're going to offer an amnesty period between January 3rd and February 14th. So if you are somebody with an overdue book, now that is your chance to clear your name. Not everyone is so lucky though. About 55,000 library users have gotten their checkout privileges revoked because they owe $10 or more.
Starting this month, the elementary schools in San Francisco are changing their way of how to present the students' grades. Instead of having a report card with a grade of what the students have done, students will get a report on what they need to learn and how close they are to learning it. The grading will be on a scale from 1 to 4 and will be based not only on academics but also on social emotional development. For many Latino students, it's not grades that are the biggest challenge. It's the discrimination they face daily, not just from peers, but also from educators. Maria Mesa has more on the story.
School is somewhere where many students should feel comfortable and be ready to learn, but for many Latino students it's the opposite due to language barriers and oppression by their own teachers. Danny Ferrer, a college student, tells us why being an undocumented student can make you feel humiliated at school.
I went to Lowell High School, which is like 60% Asian, and like Latino is like 8%, like 8% Latino. So we were a minority there, and especially me, like an undocumented student. I remember asking my teacher, like, oh, do you know where the registration booth is? And I remember her telling me like, oh, are you sure like you're in the right place? And I was like, yeah, this is Lowell High School. And she's like, oh, it's because I didn't expect you to like be coming to Lowell. I got kind of mad. I felt like smaller than her because I don't know, like I've never gone through that.
Just like Danny, many Latino students have a difficult time adapting to the language. So many are put down by their own teachers. As shown in this graph, Latino students are 20% more likely to be ashamed or put down by a teacher than the other races. This is all according to NPR.org. As an example of this is a Latina student at Boston University who addressed her professor for circling the word hands. The teacher wrote on the student paper saying that hands was not her word and that citation was needed. The Latina student replied by saying, "How many degrees do I need for someone to believe I am an academic?" Ricardo Mendoza, a Latino student, gives advice on how people and teachers should avoid discrimination towards students.
People automatically, even teachers, they automatically assume that if you look Latino, people, like, you just tend to think that they're Mexican. And before assuming that they're Mexican, just ask them first, hey, where are you from? Because that can really ease the situation. That can they make the other person feel more comfortable.
In San Francisco, I'm Maria Mesa for Urbanites Update.
If you ever feel ashamed or put down by a teacher or classmate, make sure to speak to a school counselor or a school director. This Saturday, San Jose State University hosted an educational event for many Latino students and their families. The event encouraged Latino students from Santa Clara County to make college a top priority. Among the array of speakers, former astronaut Jose Hernandez inspired the next generation to attend and apply for college. Hernandez said that in the event that in order to have role models, we need to have an education.
With Black Friday approaching, major retailers like Walmart and Amazon have already started to announce their deals, meaning the competition for the best buy is on. Amazon announced that their Black Friday deals store will be updated with new deals every day and at times up to every 5 minutes. The best part is you can get these deals until December 22nd. A national retail survey found that this year's holiday season, gift sales are expected to top $55 billion, which is an estimated $935 per shopper. Retail superstores Costco and Staples accidentally announced some pretty big Black Friday deals as well. In a recent leak by bfads.net, hit products like the Microsoft Surface Pro 4 will have a $200 discount at Staples, and you can score up to $40 off Amazon products as well. Costco's discount list doesn't list exact pricing changes, but does list that certain items like the Surface Pro 4 will be available in a discounted bundle. Eager Black Friday shoppers have some digging to do to find out exact discounts, but rest assured, these These retailers will provide deals for the whole family.
If you haven't already bought your plane tickets for Thanksgiving, you should buy them immediately. Prices for airfare are expected to be raised $4 per day. Luckily, this year's prices are not as expensive as prices have been in years past. This is because most of the top 15 busiest markets are trying to save money by lowering airfares and the lower jet fuel prices. If you're looking to save money moving forward, experts suggest buying flights on days that are not popular to travel, like Thanksgiving, which is the cheapest day to fly. In the Bay Area, where everything seems to be more expensive, including airfares, Vanessa Arsolé has some tips to travel for cheap.
San Francisco is home to the second largest population of international students in the United States. Being so far from home, students like Pierre need to buy flights in order to see their families.
I usually travel twice a year during Christmas holiday and during the summer holiday. I'm just using flights to get home and that's it. If traveling wasn't that expensive, I think I would probably travel more to discover more countries and explore the world, but yeah, mostly it's because it's too expensive that I don't travel that much.
International students aren't the only people interested in buying flights overseas. With new lower fares offered by airlines like WOW and Norwegian, the idea of traveling to Europe is more realistic for everyone. Austin Mary is one person looking to take advantage of the cheaper flights.
Now over the summer, maybe I'll be more tempted to go and visit Europe and see some of my friends, like my roommates are actually both from Europe, so maybe I'll go and visit them now that the flights are so cheap to get there.
While students looking to travel may be excited to purchase flights, there are some people with a different perspective on these new low fares. Travel agent Lolly Ciasco shares the positives and negatives of these cheaper flights.
Even though the good side of it will be a lot of people will be inclined to visit Europe, and so sales will go up airline-wise. But then as far as with the travel agent industry, it will decrease the client base in a way that some clients or majority of the clients will be going directly into the website and instead of calling a travel agent to assist them with their travel plans.
Whatever your motive for traveling, you might be able to take advantage of these cheap flights. In San Francisco, I'm Vanessa Arsolé for Urban Nights Update.
For more information about dates and destinations, you can go onto the WOW and Norwegian Airlines websites. Everyone, make sure to do your research before you book your flights, so you don't miss out on the savings.
As we approach the gift-giving season, many people will get new devices that can be controlled through the internet. But what's known as the Internet of Things can cause serious trouble in our lives. Maria Mesa interviewed Richard Hart to find out more.
Hi, I'm here with Richard Hart. He's the IT guy at the Academy of Art Universities for the Communications Department. How are you, Richard?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah. So, as we were talking about the Internet of Things, what is the Internet of Things, and is it good or bad?
The Internet of Things is, well, good or bad. The best way to describe it is the way the old science fiction movies used to say, technology. It can be used for good or evil. The choice is ours. It's both good and evil. The Internet of Things refers to any device that is not a computer or a phone, but happens to be on the Internet. For example, when the Internet began, the only way you could get on the web or the Internet is through a computer, either a desktop or a laptop. But now, every phone is on the Internet. So now the Internet has moved to the network of phones. But also, now it has moved to things that are not computers and not phones. This includes things like security cameras, everything from the devices that log you in with your security card. These things are on the web, on a network. Toasters, refrigerators now, all of these things, even smart light bulbs are on the Internet. So I can check my light bulb remotely from my phone. That's a danger. But it's also very convenient. That's the Internet of Things.
How can it change how can it change our future or change our lives by having the internet?
It's changed my life and many people's lives because of, say, internet security cameras. This is a security camera, one of a couple at my house, and it is showing me live on the internet what's going on in my backyard, in my house, in my kitchen.
Yeah.
Now, this device, this camera, could not do this unless it was connected to the internet. And it's a good thing for me that it's connected to the internet. Unfortunately, it can also be used to take down websites and maybe someday even take down the internet connection of an entire country. That's the bad news.
Yeah. Do you think that there's a lot of people hacking systems now because of
Oh,
the
absolutely,
internet?
yeah. In late October, a group still not completely identified used a piece of software that took over lots of little internet devices on refrigerators and security devices and cameras and used them to try to log on to a very important computer or server on the East Coast. And it took down, for a while, it took down Tumblr, it took down Twitter, it took down a number of really big popular websites. And the reason they went down is what's called a distributed denial of service attack. What attacked this very important server was little bots, little things like that are embedded in, again, security cameras principally.
That's all. Thank you. Back to the studio.
Google is gunning for their rivals in the battle for virtual reality. The new Daydream software will put virtual reality capabilities into every Android headset rather than using an app. Experts believe the resulting experiences will be far superior to efforts such as the Samsung and Oculus Gear VR, but not as powerful as Facebook's Oculus Rift, which requires a dedicated $2,000 PC. Google is also working with manufacturers on a new headset that uses a phone as its screen.
When Hollywood discusses diversity, it tends to focus on race, gender, and sexual orientation. But it almost always ignores disability. 20% of the country's population have some sort of disability, but 95% of the characters with disabilities on television are played by able-bodied actors. In a recent roundtable discussion, disabled actors are not arguing that actors should not do what actors do, but they ask for more opportunities in the industry. Want to see the new viral video, hot new shows, and a sneak peek of Disney's new live-action movie? Then stay tuned as we go to Mackenzie Granville with the tonight's entertainment.
Hey there and welcome to this week's entertainment segment. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get to it. I'm sure you've heard of the Harlem Shake, those viral videos where people dressed up in crazy outfits and danced equally as crazy. Well, that's in the past, and the new thing to do is called the Mannequin Challenge. The goal is to hold a pose and mimic a mannequin. What started out as simple poses turned into something totally different. Now people all across the world are trying to outdo each other with the wildest and best thought out videos. I don't know who thought of that, but it really makes me wonder what is going to be the next big thing. Speaking of next big things, Disney is making their next live-action movie, and it is none other than the classic Beauty and the Beast. Earlier this week, we got our first look at Emma Watson in Belle's infamous gold dress, and boy does she look stunning. This has been the newest of the very few sneak peeks we have gotten of the new movie. Even the trailer itself revealed little to nothing. Let's take a look.
Look, a girl. Yes, I can see it's a girl, you fool. What if she is the one?
Hello?
The film is set to be released on March 17th in 2017. If you're looking for a new show to watch, look no further than HBO's new series, Westworld. People all over have been going nuts for this show. Many have even been comparing it to shows like Lost that have the what the heck is happening factor.
You know where you are.
I'm in a dream.
That's right, Dolores. You're in a dream. Have you ever questioned the nature of your reality?
Welcome to Westworld. No orientation. No guidebook. All our hosts are here for you.
In this world, you can be whoever you want.
Are you real?
I'm in a dream.
You're in my dream.
Yeah.
I designed every part of this place. Not a theme park, but an entire world.
Westworld is a futuristic amusement park. The park itself is an entire world, which is looked after by hosts. These hosts are incredibly lifelike robots, which is the entire appeal of the park. Guests live out their fantasies through artificial consciousness, so no harm can actually come to them physically. Featuring an all-star cast including Oscar winner Anthony Hopkins and Golden Globe winner Ed Harris, Westworld is sure to be your newest obsession. If you're looking to get into the holiday spirit, what better way than to tune in to Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg's new cooking show?
Welcome. I'm going to be making a 3-cheese pizza with spinach and mint and a topping of delectable black truffles. It sounds delightful. So delicious.
Just to clarify, I'm not high right now, but whoever gave us this show, they must have been.
The Old Friends star in Martha's and Snoop's Potluck Dinner Party, a cooking show where they compete to see who can cook the best dishes. The show, whose first episode aired on VH1 on Monday, promises to be, and I quote, a half-baked evening of cocktails, cooking, conversation, and fun where nothing is off limits. The show will feature a variety of stars including DJ Khaled and 50 Cent. That's it for this edition of Entertainment. We'll have more next time.
Now let's go to Maria Mesa for more on this week AAU sports.
Last week, the Academy of Arts women's and men's soccer team headed to Southern California to compete against the California Baptist and the Concordia Eagles. First up, the women's team had their loss to California Baptist 2-0 on Thursday afternoon. The team also lost their last game against the Concordia Eagles 5-0. The men's team followed with a 2-0 loss against California Baptist and a 1-3 loss against the Concordia Eagles. This was both the women's and men's soccer team last game of the season. Now, the women's basketball season begins this Friday, November 11, as they head to Alaska to face the Alaska Entourage and the Alaska women's basketball team for the West Region Challenge. Good luck to them. Academy of Arts Sterling Hawkins was Athlete of the Week after placing second at the Dennis Rose Invitational Golf Tournament. She led RU to their second first place, finishing off the season. She was awarded with the 4th career Pac West Woman Golfer of the Week award. Here's what she and her coach had to say.
When people shoot a certain score they never thought they could, then they realize like, oh, I did this, and I can do that again. And so I think that is where it lays, is like, this is not as hard as I'm making it on myself. You can actually do this. So I think that's what brought us through those 2 times. And also our confidence levels are going higher.
At the Dennis Rose, there was a lot of wind and difficult weather. And one thing that Sterling has devoted her time to, and also her energy, is to become a better wind player and become a better player under bad conditions.
Like halfway through the round, if I was shooting, like if I wasn't hitting so well, or because my swing was a little bit off this tournament, but I would just think like, oh, okay, this is actually really fun. I'm in Hawaii right now, and this is exciting, and I get this opportunity to play here. So I think that's what got me through the round the first day, the 2 rounds the first day, because I don't know, it's just exciting for me, and so it's just like I'm out here to have fun, but no matter what happens.
The men's cross-country team made history at Adamant Park, taking 4th place out of 25 at the NCAA Division II West Regional Championship on Saturday morning. The Urban Knights became the first team to qualify for NCAA Division II Nationals. This would occur this Saturday, November 19, at the Avid Course in San Leo University. The men's basketball team also started their season this Friday, November 11, as they go against San Francisco State in the San Francisco State Main Gymnasium at 7 p.m. That is all for this edition of sports. See you next time.
Thanks, Maria. There's a new coach in town joining the women's basketball team. Reporter and player Preference Dominic introduces Coach Robert Donaldson.
Robert Donaldson is a former professional basketball player. He has moved from London, England back to the U.S. and is now one of the newest members to the coaching staff for the women's basketball team at the Academy of Art University.
My coach got a letter from an agent that was over in Germany. He said, hey, if you got any players that are interested in playing overseas, have them write to me. So I wrote to him. The agent looked at my resume and he said, hey, you was born in England. My dad was in the U.S. Air Force. He said, I can get you playing as a dual citizen. Even though it wasn't the NBA, to me it was the NBA. It was important. I did it full time. I did it for 20 years. My wife and I have been married 33 years. We have 6 children, 5 boys, 1 girl. My daughter's the youngest, she's 13. And my oldest son is 26. And they're all involved in sport. The reason I wanted to coach at Academy Art University is because I've been following Coach Dale's record over the years. And I've never met her in person, but we've talked on the phone and email and text every now and then. And so when opportunity came up, I had been following, the success that she's had and the job that she's done. And we knew each other through a mutual friend, and that gave me opportunity and insight to having this opportunity. It's just a great challenge to be part of a successful program, and I can learn a lot from her. The American style of basketball, it's a successful program, and being in a multicultural city like San Francisco, it's an opportunity I couldn't turn down.
Donaldson wishes to continue his years as a basketball coach, helping and teaching so that he can pass his skills to those worth them. Here in San Francisco, I'm Preference Dominic with your Urban Knights update.
That's all we have for this edition of Academy of Arts Urban Knights Update. I'm Daniel Bodespa.
And I'm Michaela Sterner. For everyone here, thanks for tuning in. We will see you back next time.